Hello class, welcome to the third video for this week, and in this video we are going to cover the topic of JavaScript and see a quick implementation of how JavaScript can be implemented in our website. So I think iSchool has another course that is dedicated to dedicated exclusively to JavaScript, and I think it's called INST 630. So in this course, in the INST 728, I'm just going to give you a very brief introduction of what is JavaScript and how it can be implemented in our website, but we won't be going into much details. But if you'd really like to get deep into the weeds of JavaScript, then I would really highly recommend the INST 630 course. So like I said earlier, in this video lecture, I'm going to briefly talk about JavaScript and give you a very teaser, if that's the right word. Yeah. So I'm going to give you a quick teaser of how JavaScript can be implemented in our website, but don't really expect me to get deep into the details, okay? But for a website, if you want to do some kind of additional validations using JavaScript and you'd like me to help you out, then I'm fine with that. But in the video lecture, we are just going to limit ourselves in the JavaScript to just the form validations. So talking about JavaScript, JavaScript is a client scripting language which is used to make dynamic websites, and it sort of enables web developers to add in special effects to the web pages, like data validation, as in, let's say in this form you want the user to strictly enter character values and not the numeric values. Then there is a way to ensure that the user enters the alphabetical characters where the alphabetical character is needed. And let's say in the email you'd like the user to enter a correct email address and not some random name like that. So those kind of validations can be done using the JavaScript. And in today's video, what I'm going to show you is how a form can be validated, meaning you create a form, and let's say you have a form, and right now the form that we have, it does no validation, at least the form that I have been giving out to you as a demo every week. That in that page I haven't implemented any validations. But every form that is created, like I said earlier, that can be validated, as in the users. We can make a check before we submit to the user. Each of the user's data can be checked depending on whether it's a numeric value or alphanumeric value. So let's try ahead and see how that can be done in a web page. So I already have the web page ready. So the functionality the functionality that we are trying to achieve here is, let's say I put in some, I decided that I'm some very lazy user and I don't feel like submitting this, I don't like filling in the details, so I'm just going to go ahead and submit it. Then this page in here, it's going to throw me an alert called, please provide your first name. And if I don't type in that, so unless I type in my first name, it's not going to give me that, okay? So I'm going to put in here, please provide your email. So this is what we're trying to do in today's class. We are going to validate all of the form elements that we have created and make sure that user fills in all the required form fields, and then only it is submitted to our server. So I have the skeleton of our code ready. It's here. So I pretty much have the skeleton ready right now because I didn't really want it to be spending too much time creating the form that we've already created in our earlier classes. So to save our time and to make a more efficient use of our time, I have the code ready, meaning I have the code, a general form that does no validation ready. So the form that I have is here. So this is the form, just the skeleton form that I have right now, and this form has no validation implemented. So if I just click on submit, it will just throw me a page, but right now I haven't linked this page to any other page, so it's going to tell me like the page not found or something like that. So yeah, so the reason this page came up was, we have done no validation and there is no page being linked up. So the objective or the functionality we're trying to add in is this form should be submitted only when these values are filled up. Right now, no validation, but we're going to add the validation. So let's go ahead and do that. We have the code in here. So one important thing, whenever we're doing the validations, the way the JavaScript works is you need to have the name value for each of your table elements. So right now we have this td align right last name, /td, input type is equal to text, and every time this should have a unique name. Okay, so I'm going to put it here as f name. Sorry, this one should be f name and this one should be l name. So if you don't have this name value in each of your table elements, then it's not going to work. Okay, so this is a rule of the thumb that, if you're trying to do a JavaScript validation, then each of your field must have the name attribute. So in the JavaScript, another rule of the thumb that we want to understand is JavaScript is implemented using functions. Okay, and the behavior that we want to achieve is anytime the user clicks on the submit button, the page needs to validate the data. That is the function that we want to achieve, right? So we're going to go to the top of our page, form, action, CGI. This is just a random page, okay? I'm just going to put it here as dash right now. And then on submit, because we want the page to do certain functions when the user clicks on the submit button. So for that, it's called on submit, and return validate is the function that we are going to write. So let's go ahead and start writing the JavaScript code. So every JavaScript, they begin with the tag of script, and the script tag should always go within the head tag. It cannot go beyond the head tag. Okay, so that is one thumb rule that you need to understand. Anytime you write in the script or the JavaScript, it has to go within the script tag, which in turn goes within the head tag. So we are going to call a script type text / JavaScript. This way we are letting our page know that we are writing the JavaScript code. And the name of our function is validate. So I'm going to copy the name of the function here. I'm going to call it function validate and write it here. So I'm going to call it as if document dot the name of our form is my form, so we are going to say my form dot fname dot value equals to empty. So if you're new to programming, then the way we write equals to sign in programming is double equals to sign. So if you just write as equal to, it's not going to understand. The computer is not going to understand. So to make the computer understand that we are checking for an empty row value for the fname, we are going to have to write double equals to sign. And again, we're going to close it here. We want to write an alert that says enter your first name, and give it a semicolon. Document of my form dot fname focus. So what the focus does is once your computer gives the user an alert, the mouse the mouse should return back to the first name text box.